AEDC wanted to bring this proposal at the last commissioner session. I was scheduled to be unavailable and travel ended up getting canceled, and I did think this was a conversation that warranted the full court and full representation from this commission, hence where we are with the date. So the window period that I know of opened March 27th. I was pulled in, and then they started discussing this at a high level, which is where some of these kind of conversations have come through.
Yeah, so we would actually would have taken this forward sooner, but the guidelines and criteria had not been read.
We had a standing one on file. I think it had just expired. And it certainly, yeah, it had just expired, yes, I certainly, yes, so I would agree with that, but I think in all fairness, you know, there could have been an opportunity to pull in the court at a different time. And I think that's been the challenging layers behind it, if you will. Commissioner, Church and Vaughn, you both look like you had some things.
No.
Okay, Commissioner Vaughn, thank you. Commissioner Kelly, you've been quiet this morning. You're soaking it all in.
I'll tell you this, I've listened to all the arguments on both sides. I think we're at a critical period for Amarillo and for downtown. There are obviously some objections to Coke, and Coke, I think, is being visualized as the bad guy in this. I don't think they're the bad guy. I believe they have allowed an event to take place that's sorely needed for this community. They're moving from their property. They didn't have to. Obviously, they're getting some benefit for doing that. And if I were them, I'd certainly want some benefit for moving too. But I believe this is a very important vote for this commission. I'm in favor of this, and I think we need to move Amarillo progressively, because if we don't, as Mr. Pittman advised, we're not going to go anywhere. This is a very important vote, and I would hopefully have this commission vote for this proposal.
The proposal is 10 years. Is there any discussion around a proposal before the position for it? 5 years, 1 year, I'm just opening it up.
Well, certainly there was a question that was posed at that time for a 5-year time frame, and certainly more is always better. And that goes back to the Coca-Cola executives to see exactly what their main position would be. And certainly, I guess it goes without stating that certainly the more that you have, the more enhancement that you can do. I don't have an issue with anything that was stated here today as far as the downtown development. I think it's time, I think it's due, and I think you guys have done an excellent job. My big headache with this, well, I got two. Number one, Potter County seems to be always brought in at the last, at the 11th hour, and without any big discussion. We had this discussion when Interiors was first implemented, and it was stated at that time with the former mayor and the city manager that please, when we do things, let's do it as a family, let's do it as a cooperative effort, and let's bring Potter County in on the onset without having us coming in because of our effective tax rate being so high that we have a lion's share of responsibility.
Well, I have to kind of object to that. Potter County's been involved in these projects from day one. We have been on the Tiers board.
The perception, Commissioner,
Well,
I have to just with you on that.
We've had representatives from Potter County, 3 representatives on that board from day one. So the county's been very well aware of this project for 2 or 3 years at least. So I think we need to kind of subside from that Potter County knowing about this project, because we do and we have.
To the degree that the knowledge as far as sitting at a table and being that notable partnership, that's what I was more speaking of. We've got some ancillary, we've got some periphery information from time to time, understanding, and I agree with that, and I'm certainly not berating you for being on that Tiers board and bringing it back to us from what we had. I guess there's a lot of issues, a lot of concerns that I have in respect to the abatement. Yes, we need to do this. We need to move forward. I think there's been some other ideas as far as some other options. Was there an effort made to have an independent assessment of all this prior to moving forward with all this? There's a number of questions. Does Coca-Cola and the executives, is this a deal breaker? As Leon had indicated. No, I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I asked that question. And Coca-Cola executive said, well, not necessarily. But to the degree that if we can move forward with this without the commitment from Potter County in the abatement process would certainly enhance where we sit in respect to all the things that have been stated here today. Knowing how well Coca-Cola is thought of and the resources they had innumerable throughout this country, and certainly I firmly believe in my heart of heart that Amarillo is a prime location, and I don't think Coca-Cola is going anywhere. That's just my opinion. And I believe that the swap, if you would, is a tremendous asset, a tremendous incentive for Coca-Cola to proceed. They're going to continue to move forward. They've got a number of assets available that they can enhance that without an abatement from the county, and we would still be able to move forward with this project. I don't really think this project, as far as the abatement, is a deal breaker, my own opinion. But to the degree that it's been stated that without Potter County, the dominoes are going to fall, and it's not going to be a positive stand. So,
Commissioner Church?
Well, I think we've all been put into a position that's a little bit damned if you do and damned if you don't. Excuse my language, but I have always been a supporter of downtown redevelopment, and I continue to be, and I think that we have to be a partner in that. So whether it's 100% for 10 years, that's something maybe we can negotiate, but I think that we need to act on it now. I don't think the timeline is an issue. Like you said, I was brought in either early May or late April for discussions. It's supposed to be on our agenda 2 weeks ago. So I think it's time for us to do the hard work, and this is the toughest vote we've had since I've been on this commission by far. And so I think we ought to make some decisions.
Okay, and I have just a couple of closing comments from my perspective, really looking at the project as a requested entity and organization. So I think the theme is this project will not bring a projected increase to the employee base, which we have traditionally used that as criteria for evaluating the proposal for an abatement. The answer to that is zero. The precedents that obviously this will set for the court, that we need to be prepared for new development, from our major employers and what that will look like. And then finally, the financial stability of the requesting company with 90 in assets. One of the leverages that I think this court has and does us well from a local perspective is that we are able to help a smaller entity really give them a leg up, where this truly, in all honesty, could be a deal breaker without it. So I think that is the discretion of this court and an opportunity that we can use, and we've traditionally used that model. So those are the three pieces, that I continue to have at the undertone of my discussions and perspective. So that being said, I think each commissioner has been allowed some time to give some closing comments. We can certainly dice this. The proposal is 10 years for the abatement.
There was a discussion on the table as far as the numbers that was allocated for it. I have no real firm discussion on that from the ADC or the executives of Coca-Cola as far as whether or not increase that from 10 to 5 and also was it 100% versus a different amount.
Would AEDC or Coke like to take that question? Yeah, the request is 10 years, 100%, and I think the commission has asked just around discussion of a different value, whether that's lesser years or lesser percentage. So, is that fair?
Yes, Judge, Commissioner. The question I am not authorized to answer because we have put forth a request in the proposal of 10 years. And so that's what we would request that the vote be on. That's what I'm here authorized to be able to speak to.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the tax abatement for 10 years at 100%.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kelly to approve the 10-year, 100% tax abatement as requested by Coca-Cola. Is there a second? I have a second from Judge Ware. All those in favor show of hands. Any opposed? Motion carries 3-2. Thank you everyone for being diligent about the time and the process, and certainly our public opinion. I recognize that this setting is sometimes difficult to address the full court, so I appreciate each one of you taking time to do that and really being vested in the process. Item number 12, executive session, to hold an executive session if necessary. Dave, I'm hearing that is not necessary today, is that correct?
That's correct.
Item's been passed. Item 13, jail report, to hear report on the Potter County Detention Center of a jail count of 484 with 90 female. Sheriff, anything you'd like to add to that?
7 more in Children's.
7 in Childress. Okay, thank you. Item 14, county insurance items, to consider and act upon any insurance claims.
Nothing new to report.
No action taken on 14 and 15 agenda items, to receive agenda items for the next commissioner's court. I'd like to open that. Is there any? Hearing none. I'm sorry.
I just have a question. A couple weeks ago, when we had the severe storms, I received a phone call to report to my station by
Oh,
the
yes.
Office of Emergency Management. No one has told me what my station is. So is there some way
Well, I
that
think,
we can be told what
I
our
think
station is?
Kevin Starbuck, Commissioner, would be who I suggest, since we operate as a pro tem, when it is my turn for pro tem and I get that call, I usually call Kevin and ask him if I need to be present at the EOC, and we'll trigger.
It usually happens when I'm pro
Yeah,
tem.
he's usually the pro tem.
And I've had the car destroyed because I went down there too, so.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't pro tem, so I thought, well, they could have me go out to watch a
Good question.
tornado. Heck, no.
I spoke to Kevin on that, and Pamela Brentzman, that we should have all, commissioners posted on that list that,
Yes. And then we-
The pro tem generally responds and goes to the facilities, okay?
Thank you all for your time today, and we will officially close at 11:02. Have a great week. Thank you, sir. Yes, the discussion. I'm taking over. Yeah, right. Discussion, yes.